What I see is fulfillment from the subjective aspect of life is much easier to gain than the fulfillment from the objective aspect. From the subjective aspect, fulfillment means the mind should gain a permanent state of bliss consciousness. A mind which knows no suffering, no torture, no malice, no negativity, all bliss. This is very easy, as all those who have started to meditate, they know it is easy to gain bliss consciousness. For that, it's only necessary to learn the practice and continue in a regular manner. This will naturally bring fulfillment as far as the inner contentment and fulfilled state of consciousness is concerned. And the consideration of fulfillment is from the objective aspect of life, as I said. Objective aspect means whatever we desire should be accomplished. No desire should go unfulfilled. That will be the fulfillment of life from the objective aspect of life. If we want this or that or that or that, whatever the desire comes, it should be fulfilled. Now we'll analyze what will be necessary to gain this fulfillment on this level. Now we want the desire to be satisfied. First thing should be that the mind is powerful. The desire is a powerful desire will always be quickly fulfilled. But only a powerful mind alone will not do. Support from the outer agency of nature is also necessary. If I have a very powerful mind, I could desire something, but if I don't get the support of the surroundings, surely I'll not be able to accomplish my desire. So apart from having a very powerful mind, if one could gain the sympathy and support of the almighty power of nature, then sure enough he will gain fulfillment from the objective aspect of life. He will not have any desire unfulfilled. And a situation in life where every desire will be fulfilled will certainly bring fulfillment to life. This entails the use of maximum mind, that is, the use of full mental potential on one side, and full sympathy and support of the almighty power of nature. Now it's a great thing that I am speaking about. This support and goodwill of the almighty power of nature. Now we'll see how this is possible. Certainly we know nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. And if everything is possible, this should be the possibility for every man to gain the sympathy of almighty power of nature. How do we go about it? If we want a tree to be green and all the effects of the tree to be green, what we do is we bring nourishment at the root. We handle the situation at the level of the sap, which is all pervading. Similarly, to gain the support of almighty power of nature, what we have to do is to gain sympathy and support of that which is the basic element of the entire creation. What is the basic element of entire creation? being. By now you are all familiar with what being is. Being is to life as the sap is to a tree. The very content, content of life of a tree is the sap. So being is the very content of life, lying at the basis of the whole creation. If we can gain the sympathy and support of being, that means if we get the value of being infused into the nature of our mind, then the mind will always have the sympathy and support of the almighty power of nature. For that, I would like to review the basic law of nature. What is the basic law of nature? We call it cosmic law. That law which maintains the integrity of the absolute and the relative spheres of life. The absolute sphere of life is the basic fundamental content of life. See, just as we have oxygen and hydrogen ions. Oxygen and hydrogen is gas. They are gases. They combine together and they become water. Water freezes and it becomes ice. But whether it is solid ice or liquid water or gas, H and O remain H and O. That means there is a law which maintains there is a force which maintains the integrity of H and O all the time, yet allows some other laws to transform the qualities of gas into liquid, like the liquid into solid. This is how the essential ingredient of H and O is eternally maintained in its status of H and O, yet keeps on changing for its qualities. Like the law which maintains the integrity of H and O is the law which lies at the basis of creation, which we call the cosmic law. The level of cosmic law is the level of eternal absolute being, which is of transcendental nature. Through our system of meditation, when the mind reaches the transcendental state of consciousness, it comes on that level of cosmic law, which is the base, which is the basis of all the laws of nature. Just as you go into a factory and get yourself befriended with the general manager, the result will be that all the clerks and all the workers of the factory will begin to sympathize with you. When the mind goes to the field of the being, which is the basis of all the laws of nature, coming out from there, the mind gains sympathy and support of all the laws of nature. And this is the way, a very direct and very definite and very scientific and very effective way of winning the sympathy and support of the almighty power of nature. Very directly through our system of meditation, the nature becomes favorable. Thousands of people in many countries have experienced that their life becomes more harmonious. The surroundings begin to respond to their desires much more readily than ever before. This is a personal experience of the people, that the nature becomes favorable. If they continue to practice regularly and keep on gaining the transcendental state of being morning and evening regularly, there should not be any reason why they should not have the support and sympathy of the almighty power of nature. Now the beauty is, on one hand we gain the sympathy and support of the almighty power of nature. On the other hand, the conscious capacity of the mind gets enlarged and the man begins to use his full mental potential. So this is one technique whereby we gain on the subjective side and on the objective side. The mind begins to be used for its full capacity. Full conscious capacity begins to be used. The man begins to use his full mental potential. The mind works at the maximum strength, and on the other hand, it enjoys the support of nature. This is how, by improving the thought force from within and gaining the sympathy and goodwill and strength of the surroundings, we gain fulfillment in our life from the subjective aspect of our existence. So, through one practice of transcendental meditation, subjectively we gain bliss consciousness. That is, we gain fulfillment from the subjective point of view. At the same time, we gain fulfillment from the objective point of view. Here is one great, glorious, simple technique useful for every man for gaining fulfillment of life at every level. But the technique itself is not going to help us. We have to use the technique. If someone becomes master of economics, it doesn't mean simultaneously he becomes a wealthy man. He has to use that wisdom of economics in the market. He has to work out his own fortune. Every man has to work out his own destiny. We can't depend upon just the technique. We must depend upon our using the technique. It's very important that we must realize fulfillment is not going to come to us of itself, even though we have a birthright to have our life in fulfillment, but we have to work out the fulfillment of our life. Each man has his own inspirations, each man has his own level of fulfillment, the idea of the level of fulfillment according to his own level of consciousness. If he wants to have complete fulfillment of life, what is necessary is to use this technique of transcendental meditation every day, regularly. And one more thing that is important is right thinking and right action. It's very important. Anything that we think is not right, we just don't think and don't do it. We should not be tempted by anything around us or within ourselves for doing anything wrong. Let that be the criterion. Anything that I feel is not right, is not moral, is not religious, we just don't go for it. If we are able to handle our thoughts and actions in a righteous manner, and if we are regular in meditation morning and evening and take life as it comes with all love and purity of behavior and sincerity of our feelings towards others, there is no reason why we should not begin to live fulfillment in life. The Gurudev.